Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dina Brenchy and I am a dating coach. This week we dive into the topic that everyone's talking about, COVID-19. And so we discuss what it is that we feel about it and what some other thoughts are that would help support us better. I think this is a time where we can really come together as a community and learn to help one another. This is a global crisis. It's never happened at any point in my lifetime or maybe yours. And so honestly, what an interesting time of life to be alive. We have won the time lottery. We have so much time to do so many things right now because we're inside social distancing. So I go over what thoughts that you can think that will help support you during this time, and also just a way to reach out to others. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Subscribe if you like it, share it. I love you all so, so much. Please enjoy. Welcome to the Sweet Life Podcast. Are you ready to start living your life with more passion, purpose, and pleasure? And stay tuned to learn more from your behavioralist expert, dating coach, and relationship guru, Sweet Deans. Hey, my sweet loves. This week has certainly been interesting, and I thought that we could take the time today to talk about it. And luckily, my audio engineer Thomas is amazing, and we'll have this episode out as soon as possible. I literally would not be able to function without him. So right now, everyone's going through a lot with this coronavirus and feeling constrained in some way. Our local bars and restaurants have closed, and my heart goes out to all of the people working in the service industry or anyone who's lost wages right now and is struggling to pay their bills. I know that right now is an interesting period of history that we all get the honor and privilege to be a part of, to watch how our minds process the information that we're given and make decisions based on our own personal beliefs, background, and experiences. I think that something that's been really beneficial for me through all this is just being really cognizant of everyone's different version of reality. I talk a lot about how your thoughts create your feelings, but your thoughts also create your reality. And whatever someone believes to be true is true for them. And I never want to shame anyone or discredit their experience in life just because it's different than my own. You know, they say trauma is different for each person, and I think during this time, it's wise to be kind, loving, and supportive to anyone who is struggling, who is having health problems or financial burdens or feels isolated, alone, or scared. I would love to just have this be a time where we might be socially distant, but emotionally close. And if you need someone to talk to, reach out to me on Instagram or on my website. And just know that I love you and I see you right now in the space that you're in. And it makes sense that you feel exactly how you do. So my thoughts on how to best unify in this space of confusion, frustration, and fear is to focus on compassion. And I'm going to go through kind of what a popular definition of compassion would be, followed by my thoughts on how we can shift compassion to be more expansive and beneficial for all. All I can do is offer my own thoughts and perhaps spark something in you that allows you to continue to grow in whatever way you choose. So the traditional definition of compassion is sympathetic pity and concern for the suffering or misfortunes of others. And I think that by examining this definition, we can see the layers of judgment peeking through. Identifying someone else as being less than or needing help or fixing implies that what the other person is experiencing is something that's inherently bad. It seems like especially in times like these, when we have a lot of fear and there seems to be a lot of judgment about what we think is right or wrong and good or bad. This seems to be the core thought in our brain space. So when we imagine being compassionate, it's almost from this lens. This space of needing there to be a right or wrong way to exist or process or get through things. However, this leads to limitations. This is from the ego, thinking that the way we exist is the right way. We believe that we have the answers, that we know what's best, and that everyone else just needs our help. I think that this keeps others down. It keeps us distant. It makes it an us versus them mentality. And the reality is, none of us actually have it figured out, right? I mean, if some of the greatest minds and the most enlightened among us still don't pretend to know it all. So this mentality that we have about showing compassion and feeling pity for others is not in a space of unconditional love. It's really in a space of judgment. So in today's podcast, I want to take a look at what it looks like to be compassionate from a space of unconditional love and non-judgment, and ultimately how that approach is so different and allows for the expansion and symbiotic growth for all of humanity. So my definition of compassion for all entities starts with curiosity, and curiosity without judgment, really eagerly questing after deeper knowledge and understanding of why people feel the way that they do, searching for their truth and attempting to love them right where they are, meeting them in that space of unity and seeing them being vulnerable and not needing them to be different. I think that this is a huge shift in perspective. This allows for people to simply exist and be able to just see each other as we are, without the need to modify or pity one another. We can just appreciate the space that each of us is in. This is what compassion looks like for me. I almost think of each of us as being a different species of plant with our own needs for evolution, space, and fertilizer. Some of us grow rapidly, some of us grow slowly and over a longer period of time. Some of us have beautiful exteriors and others camouflage into the plants around them. But the two constants that every plant needs is varying degrees of water and light. This is true for people too. But our water is non-judgment and our light is unconditional love. And in order to create a thriving garden, we need to allow these elements to exist in abundance so that each plant is able to get what it needs. And through this abundance, you can cultivate the most amazing jungle you could possibly imagine. Think of a world where people search to understand each other and not condemn one another. Imagine a world where we just loved and supported each other's growth and evolution without needing to manage it, control it, or contain it. Think about how compassion would feel in this way. This ultimately creates the framework for unlimited growth, learning, and emotional progress. If we all searched for deeper understanding of one another and simply allowed each other to live as we are, imagine how safe that would feel. Imagine how warm and inviting that would be if we were to remove judgment and simply allowed people to exist. Who knows what might be achieved? Imagine what kind of unity that would create. I mean, I know we've been joking about the great toilet paper crisis, but that kind of behavior stems from fear and confusion and the thought of there not being enough. This fear of the unknown and feeling like we won't be supported moving forward is due to a lack of compassion and unconditional love. It's in spaces like this virus situation where we're all able to sit and assess our thoughts and the commitment that we have to our fellow man. Reach out to someone around you. They may be going through some non-optimal emotions and they may need to share their thoughts with you. Observe their thoughts without judgment and love them right where they are. This kind of compassion promotes unification and not separation. It allows people to own their thoughts and feelings and decide how they want to grow through this. This allows everyone to be supportive of everyone else. In every season, this should be our core desire for one another. So if you take away nothing else from this time that we are going through, think about this. What if this time was utilized to check in on those you love and shower them with affection? What if during this time you could focus on loving others without judgment? What if you could utilize this time right now for propelling yourself forward into deeper levels of growth and understanding? Because I believe that through every situation, there's always an opportunity to grow. If you're loving the Sweet Life podcast and you want to start rewiring your brain right away, take this free 4-day Rewire Your Brain challenge at sweetdeans.com/rewire and click download. I can't wait to talk to you next week, sweet family. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. Remember to subscribe. Ring that little bell so that you get notifications when I post new things. I try to come out with these weekly, but as you know, sometimes things take a while. I love you guys so, so, so much. Have a beautiful day.